I need my space.
So Gus, Nick, today's question comes from 24-year-old Julian. Julian says, hey, I'm about to get married and for the first time ever live with this woman. How do I live with a woman?
That's the question.
That's it?
That's
the
it.
question.
That's all. I really think you guys are pros at this. You've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, I've been married almost 10 years now. So for a few years. I mean, I don't like. I need a little more context. Like, has this person had a roommate? Because it's not like a scary thing.
It's not dissimilar from having a roommate.
Yeah,
that's very true.
It's a roommate that you share a bed with. I mean, it's not a scary monster.
No. But that's the thing. When I first got engaged, see, I moved in with my wife once we got engaged. So I gave her the ring, did the whole thing, and I was like, let's move in together. We started furnishing, and I was terrified the first day. It was the weirdest thing. I had this weird anxiety when I was going to walk through the door for the first time to this like new relationship, this new life. And I walked in, like I built up the balls to actually like open the door. So I was gonna just go to Taco Bell, and I walk into the apartment and nothing changed. Honestly, if you're in a good relationship with someone and you guys have an actual healthy relationship where I know you can talk and communicate and figure stuff out together, then nothing will change when you guys actually move in.
I think the biggest adjustment I had when I first started living with my wife was trying to realize that even though we're spending time together because we're living together, that it's okay to go and do something without the other person. At the time I was really big into World of Warcraft, and I'd be like, I'm gonna go play WoW for a couple hours. Like, that's cool, right?
Days.
Right, and like you have, like I had to kind of get over almost like asking for permission. And after a while, you're like, oh no, wait, I'm just gonna go do that.
Yeah.
We're just sharing this living space. There's nothing weird about that.
But that's a really weird thing for people to kind of understand, right? Is that when you're in relationships, so much of your time and so much of the logistics have to be figured out. So you have to talk constantly and say, I'm gonna go hang out with the guys, because you're actually sacrificing the time with your significant other. You're gonna be spending a lot of time together. So you gotta just get through what Gus is talking about, right? Get through that little hump of having to kind of check in with people, and don't be afraid to be a little selfish with your time, because you're gonna need you time and her time, and then y'all time together.
Yeah, so that's my question is, do you think that on the flip side of that, even though you're together all the time, is it important to kind of make sure that you guys are having together time that's not just us being in the room together?
Well, there's a difference between being together and spending time together and actually having quality time together. And you actually have to make sure that you know the difference between those two things, because it's very, very, very important. Like, I don't know if you've noticed that in your relationship, but when you're just sitting there watching TV and she's reading a magazine and you're just hanging out on the internet and something's on, that's fun, it's relaxing, but it's not the same as you guys sitting together, having dinner, talking about your days, like actually decompressing and remembering that you love each other and you're in each other's lives.
Or like engaging in an actual conversation as opposed to just like talking.
Right, like small talk, right? And so that's the craziest thing, is like my wife and I have to actually sit down and turn the TV off, get a meal together, and talk to each other. And it sounds stupid to say, but that's very, very, very important.
Well, in terms of the space stuff then, like, do you think it's important to have a man cave style thing going on?
I don't think so. I hate the term man cave.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not partial to that
style
term.
thing. Yeah.
I mean, I've just got, like, for me, I've just got my computer desk. Like, it's like my PC game. I got an Xbox, a PlayStation there. It's like that's where all my shit is. It's like, it's not a man cave. It's like it's right next to. It's where it's in the middle of everything else. It's just like, that's like where all the shit you don't want cluttering the other parts.
Right.
Like, that's all just where it goes, and like that's what I'll deal with.
I mean, I have a little bit of a man cave. I don't necessarily think of it as my fortress of solitude or anything like that, but I think less important than the physical space is actually the mental space of like saying, I'm going to go, like sometimes I just like to go for a walk, go to Starbucks and sit and read the internet or read a book, right? And that needs to be okay. The other person needs to be okay with you taking time for yourself. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. The other thing I would touch on though is that figuring out, there's a lot of different logistics stuff you have to figure out. When you're with a roommate, you can have that hard conversation, but it's different when you're with your wife. Finances are a big thing, and they're a huge point of stress for people in relationships. So have those conversations now. Start hashing that stuff out now. Who's gonna pay what? Because at the end of the day, it does boil down to that. And it can kill some of the romance, and it sucks, but you just gotta get through that. Talk about the rent, talk about the insurance, talk about who's paying the car payment, talk about how you're gonna split that up. Are you gonna have a joint savings account? How is that working out? Figure it out now so that when you guys move in together, you don't have to worry about it.
Is the bathroom situation a thing?
No. You'd think it would be, but when you're that close to someone, like now it's actually funny for me to leave the door open and talk to my wife. Funny for me. she thinks it's disgusting. But I'm having a conversation while she's watching Scandal, and I'm, doing my business. She's like, I can hear everything about it. I can hear it all. I can hear the mud hitting the water.
That's true love.
Yeah, that is. Gus, thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you?
You can find me at richchief.com/Gus or on Twitter at Sorola.
You can find me on Twitter at Tim Gettys, him at Nick_Scarpino. If you need advice from us, you can go to kindoffunny.com/loveandsex, fill out the form, and we'll get right back to you.
And if you need shirts from us, you go to kindoffunny.com/store where you can get the Love and Sex Stuff shirt, the Kind of Funny shirt, the Producer/Seducer shirt, all the shirts you could ever imagine and more right there.
Until next time, I love you.
Kind of Funny Live 2 is happening May 28th and 29th. It's a 2-day event. The first day is going to be a completely ridiculous stage show. What we have planned this year completely blows last year out of the water. And I don't even know how that's possible because we were really stupid last year, and this year's somehow even stupider. Day 2 is going to be full day of meet and greets. We're hanging out with all of us. A bunch of Rooster Teeth people are there. Funhouse people are there. Achievement Hunter. It's going to be a grand old time. There's going to be some games to play. There's going to be signings. It's exciting. It's a really fun time. There's going to be exclusive merch. Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be exclusive merch. Go to kindoffunny.com/tickets to get your tickets today. There's a couple VIP tickets still available, so make sure if you want one of those, you act fast.